What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today I'll be reviewing the version 3 of the Speedy Homage from Pagani. This was sent into the channel at a discount by the Trendy Men's Watch store and does not have to go back, but you guys know that won't change a thing, as you'll see. Link can be found in the description. So this one has been a long time coming. It's only taken them 3 attempts to get here, but have they finally cracked it? Well, let's find out. Starting with the specs and stuffs first, the 1701 measures in at 42.1mm in diameter, which increases to 44 on the nose if you include the crown. Look to look, it's actually smaller than I expected at 47.4. The thickness is 13.6, so it is a little bit on the thick side for a quartz. Lug width is 20, and finally that crown is 5.9. Case and bracelet are full stainless steel, though I'm unsure if it's 316L or the slightly inferior 304. We do have a dome sapphire crystal, though there is a lack of AR on the underside. On the plus side we have a screw down crown and case back, which gives this a supposed 100 meters water resistance. Size for me, 133 gram. And last up, the bezel. It's a fixed tachymeter with a glossy black ceramic insert. The bezel numerals and markings are nice and neat, and I can't really see anything majorly wrong with it. The crystal on the dial is a single dome sapphire with no AR, as previously mentioned. Sapphire is always appreciated, though I wouldn't have minded a bump in price to add some AR. The rehaut is plain and brushed, whereas the minute track is printed in white and does pop off nicely against that slightly subtler textured black dial. The markers are embossed Loom batons that really pop off that dark dial, creating some nice contrast. Under the 12, the Pagani logo, Pagani design printed as well, and chronograph under that. So this isn't a crisp white as the indices, and looks a little bit dull. The last bit of text is Japan movement flanking the 6 o'clock baton. As for the subdial config, we have a kind of pointless 24-hour, running seconds, and a more useful 60-minute timer. These subdials are sunk into the dial and give it a little bit of depth. We also have a date window sandwiched between the 4 and 5, which should not be there, but at least they colour matched it. Finally to the hands, and actually one of the biggest changes made to this version. Previous ones were a bit terrible for legibility, but these ones fare much better. They aren't anything fancy, but they suit the watch well and seem to be pretty well done. As for the case, it's a mixed bag. I really do like their attempt at twisted lug, though they are a little smooth and soft compared to the sharp and clean of the original. The brushing on the sides ain't half bad as well. It's nice and smooth, but again that transition between the polished element and brushed element is a little bit smooth and not that crisp. I can't really put too much negativity on this because it's affordable after all. The crown and pushers are fine and there's nothing really wrong with them at all. And I even like how the polished logo pops from the etched surrounding. The knurling is decent too, but more on that later. Flipping the watch to the case back, and we have a screw down affair which is decorated, and you know what? I like it. We have a bit of a space theme going on with mix of etched metal, polishing and brushing that really pops. And you can also see we have a series of engraved specifications which are all well done. Now to the bracelet, and this one is also hit and miss. On the plus side, the finishing is pretty nice. We have some clean brushing and tasteful polished accents. The clasp is really smooth too and has some nice polished edges. There's also solid end links which do have a smidge of wobble, but they are female, which is nice to see. There's plenty of articulation and flex without it feeling too jangly. But here is the other side, the lack of refinement. First up, the link edges. These are pretty sharp and need smoothing. Also, the micro adjusts on the clasps are poorly cut and look very sloppy. The inner side of the clasp is also sharp, but at least it's milled. So they giveth and taketh away. The final drawback is the size, as I am on the last adjustment hole and there are no links left to remove. Pagani really should have given the option to have a few more removable links to help fit this watch for us people with smaller wrists. And actually, you're going to see how badly this one fits. You can easily see I can fit one finger through and there's still a gap. This makes the watch slide around and is really annoying to wear. This could have been an easy fix with more removable links, but Pagani. At least you guys with thicker wrists won't have the same issue. And the watch itself is actually not that bad when you get it on a strap that fits. So in total, they got 50% of it right, which, you know, is better than 0, I suppose. The movement, however, is a redeeming feature, as Pagani didn't make it. It's the Seiko VK63 Mecha Quartz. This is a 0G movement that takes a 394 cell battery, which is also known as the SR936SW. Accuracy is a pretty standard negative 2 plus 20 seconds per month, and battery life is expected to be around 3 years depending on usage. Pressing the top pusher, you get a satisfying response, though it's not as nice as the clunk you get from the similar Miyota. And well, off the chronograph hand goes, sweeping away. One full rotation elapses, giving 1 tick on the timer, so you can use it for cooking, etc. Press the top pusher again to stop it, and then to reset it, press that bottom one and it springs right back into position. It's not as cool as the sweep return, but it works fine. As for the crown, it's actually pretty decent. One pull out and you can adjust the date. This is quick set, works fine. Fully pulling out the crown hacks the seconds and allows you to set the time. This is really easy thanks to that grippy crown, and it's even smooth in action too. Though I do get a little bit of feedback on my sample. Not worrying, just a little tactile response. Last but not least is the Loom. And well, you might be expecting not great Loom, and you'd be right. The hands are not awful, but they're quite thickly. The Loom on the indices is where it really falls apart. They are patchy, they don't have any power or longevity at all. So more of the same. I know we can't really expect amazing Loom, but this is just not good. Pagani have made some improvements with this in the visual department, and it's now better looking and more legible than ever. But there are still a few areas that need work, most notably the bracelet refinement. Luckily this can be fixed with a strap change, and I would probably recommend something different anyways, as it's a bit of a strap monster. As for the value, it's tough, because it's affordable and it will set you back around 78 quid, so not a massive amount, but I'm struggling to recommend it given all the issues I've had, so I would suggest watching other people's reviews on this before committing to anything. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video if you enjoyed it, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads, and of course follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again, I'll see you soon.